Good morning, everybody. It is time for another Grow It, Eat It challenge. And today I'm going to try some rosemary. It's crazy how much I love it, and I never cook with it. So I'm actually going to make zucchini butter because, as you can see, I have quite a lot of zucchini. It is a really cool dish that you can use. You can either spread it on bread to make like a savory toast, or you can add it to your pasta. And I am going to preserve it in the freezer. I don't know if you can can it. I haven't seen any recipes that involve canning, so definitely this is going to be in the freezer. So I'm going to make zucchini butter with rosemary and zucchini butter with basil. But they both start off exactly the same. I'm going to put 3 tablespoons olive oil, 1 tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to kind of heat it up a little bit, and then I'm going to drop in 5 garlic cloves, gently smashed, and approximately 2 pounds of zucchini, which is about 2 large zucchini or 3 small ones. And then about 5 sprigs of rosemary, a half teaspoon of sea salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. To find this recipe, you can go to foodinjars.com. It is a really awesome website that shows a lot of small batch preserves, which is something I really love because I don't necessarily need 20 tubs of this. 3 or 4 is going to be enough. So I'm going to start off with the skillet, the olive oil, and the butter, and as soon as they melt, I'm going to add the garlic. So we're going to start off by putting 3 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan. And you want a pretty big saucepan for this because it's going to start off with quite a lot of ingredients. It is going to cook down pretty fast, but it definitely is you're going to want to make sure you have plenty of space. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter, and I'm just going to kind of stir them around a little bit until they melt together. All right, so these 2 are together. That means it's time to add the garlic. I am frankly being a little lazy and just using some minced garlic. Since my garlic cloves are still looking great and sitting all cutely braided, I don't have the heart to break them up yet until I really need them. And this garlic's been in the fridge and needs to get used up anyway. All right, so the garlic's in. Now it's time to add the squash. Now, because I've grated my zucchini, it's probably actually only going to take me about a half hour. The recipe called for cubing it, but I found another recipe where they grated it, and I thought, let's go for some time savings. So I am. So I'm adding about half because, like I said, I'm making 2 separate recipes. While you're waiting for your zucchini to cook down, if you haven't already, you should prepare your containers. I like to use these glass containers with the snap-on lids. I have already sterilized them. They're ready to go. And freezer tape. So don't forget to label them with what they are and the date, because once your freezer is stocked full, it can be super easy to mix things up. If you don't have freezer tape, you can try some regular masking tape. It might not stick as well, but it will do the job. But just make sure you label everything, or else you're going to be super confused come mid-January when your freezer's full of stuff and it's all kind of vaguely green and it's hard to tell what's what. Another thing you can do while you're waiting is you can start prepping your herbs. You want to make sure everything is really clean and any disease leaves are removed. And then, since these stems look super tough to me, I am actually taking the leaves off and tossing the stems. And you only need 4 or 5 sprigs, so it doesn't need to be a vast quantity. So now that I've gone through and I've made sure that all the leaves look nice and healthy, and I've gotten rid of all the tough stems, I'm just going to chop it off. Rosemary smells amazing. I don't know why I don't cook with it. I guess it smells amazing but strong, and I've always been a little hesitant that I might ruin the dish, but we're gonna be brave. We're gonna make these containers of rosemary butter, and then like I said, just because I'm not sure I like the taste, I saw a couple recipes that called for any fresh herbs that you preferred, so I'm going to redo the whole process, and I'm going to make it again with basil. So these are all ready to go. As soon as the butter cooks down a little more. When you're about 20 minutes in, it's going to be time to add the herbs and about a 1/4 cup of water, or if you prefer, you can add white wine. I just did the water. And now we're going to cook it for at least another 20 minutes until it's a really, really soft paste. All right, the paste has been cooking for over a ½ hour now, so I'm going to give some of it a try. You can see the consistency. It's maybe not quite ready yet, but I think it's ready enough to put it on the toast and just see how it tastes. I'm going to let it cook for about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to cool it down so I can go into the freezer container, and then I'll start my next batch with the basil. So it's time to take it off the stove, let it cool for a few minutes, and then put it right into the glass container. So since my container is oven safe, I'm going to actually scoop right into it. And then I'm going to leave the lid off for just a few minutes because it is a plastic snap-on lid. No, Libby. Libby's greeting everybody. Libby's been super barky lately. I don't know if I don't know if it's a storm coming in or what, but they have sure been super barky lately. Alright, so that actually, it was for pint containers, and I'm putting it in this bigger square container, so it looks like just one container. I think this might also go good in jelly jars if you have jelly jars, so you could just do a small amount without having to open a big container when you want to use it. That's all there is to it. It was not that hard to make. Tasted good on the toast. I'm sure it'll be great in pasta, and it cooked down to a really nice spreadable consistency.